I'm starting what's considered one of the most disturbing movies of all time, the original Faces of Death, so let's get into it. It's definitely very racist so far, especially towards the native people, but it also has this scene with the farm owner unaliving a chicken, and it's just this slow, melancholic version of Old MacDonald Had a Farm in the background, like it's supposed to be scary. It's kind of funny. So I knew the slaughterhouse part was coming up in this movie, and that was just rough to watch. I'm not vegan, but I do have a disdain for the meat industry in general, and that was just hard to sit through. Alright, so I got through the monkey scene and everything, and it's very obviously fake. It's like cauliflower for the brains, which is apparently what it actually is. Very obviously fake. I could see how it maybe traumatized people at the time thinking it was real and everything, but now it's just really cheesy. So far, this movie is mostly about like facing your own death and stuff. It's less disturbing and more just kind of sad and melancholy, which I do kind of like, although it is kind of boring. Also, this movie hates spelunkers. It just said like 5 different ways how stupid they are, and it was interesting. I was also not expecting a climate change portion, but honestly, it was really welcome. Alright, so I just finished the movie, and I could definitely see why it was shocking at the time and up until the 2000s at least. But it's honestly a lot of the same stuff that most of a modern audience, unfortunately, is desensitized by now. It's a lot of like accident footage, autopsies, stuff like that. And it was just kind of slow, and unfortunately, it felt like a nature documentary. And I did like a lot of what it had to say, especially in the last half with climate change and war and gun violence, stuff like that. I did really appreciate that, especially for a 70s movie. It does feel definitely birthed out of like the peace and love movement and stuff. Um, but at the same time, it was extremely racist and it was definitely problematic at best. I do think including footage of some of these unalivings and stuff without the family's approval is extremely messed up. But all in all, it just wasn't that great, unfortunately. I am very excited about the new one because the new one is more of an actual horror movie instead of more of a mockumentary Mondo type of film. But let me know if you've seen the movie or anything. I know this review is pretty long because I was watching it actively, but I'm curious to see what kind of affected everybody the most, especially since this movie's been around for a very long time. It is considered a classic shock film, so definitely let me know.